Hey everyone, MLive's Quinn here alongside Michigan football beat writer Nick Baumgardner following Michigan's 28-7 win over UNLV. Nothing spectacular, kind of business-like. I think it was a get-in, get-out kind of day, and I don't know how much you can actually take from it, but do you take anything from it?
Yeah, there's a couple things I think, and the one takeaway is that the passing game is not probably anywhere near what they want it to be, but at the same time, you know, based on Jim Harbaugh's comments after the game and saying that, you know, Jake Rudock's job is to win the football game. I'm not asking him to go out there and light the world on fire. I'm not expecting him to go out there and light the world on fire. And again, we've talked about this a couple different times. If they had a better option at quarterback, they'd play one. And I think that he's all but said that a few different times, and we keep hearing a lot of people, why doesn't somebody else get a chance? Why doesn't somebody else get a chance? I think the value they're putting on Rudock's ability to remain consistent in terms of how the offense, you know, stays calm. Obviously, the interceptions are a problem for the most part. I think they appreciate his ability to sort of get the play in and out and move down the field. And if that, I mean, I think that says a lot about what's behind them and the situation they're in. And you know, they're just gonna have to roll with what they've got. And you know, is that going to be enough to beat good teams? You know, right now, no. But you know, that's something they've got to work on. You
know, even if he could just limit the turnovers, I feel like if it's, you know, they can manage. If, okay, he's not going to be hitting 30 and 40 and 50-yard vertical passes. He's not going to be that
just
guy.
Don't turn it over.
You can't turn the ball over. So they're going to have to figure out a way. Going into a game like BYU, you can't afford You can't afford to flip the field, change possession. You know, they already are limited enough offensively. They can't have their game manager let things slip up like that.
Well, yeah, and they're not good enough to play one-dimensional all the time. And I think even today, you saw that. I mean, the passing game just really wasn't doing anything, and then, you know, the running game in the first half was dominating people. And even then, I mean, over time, if all they think you're going to do is run the ball, you know, frankly, they're just not good enough to just dominate somebody like that every single week and rack up 500 yards rushing and then just have Rudock throw 4 or 5 times and move on. It's just not enough. So, like you said, the turnovers, you got to limit those. You got to make sure that those stop, because against a team like BYU and like Utah, as we saw, or better teams in the Big Ten, those turnovers turn into points. And against these teams, they don't. But limit the turnovers and, you know, be a little bit more accurate in your intermediate throws, because that was a problem today. I mean, and Harbaugh said there was a swirling wind and all this. I'm not going to buy a lot into that. You know, he misses Jake Butt in the back of the end zone. He missed Drake Johnson in a flat. I mean, he's missing really easy throws. J.U. Cheston said fair criticism that the timing is off in the passing game. And really, and I think that says, tried to ask Harbaugh that, and he just didn't want to talk about it.
He won't play into it.
But that's, you know, that's a real thing. You got to work on that.
Speaking of easy things, 2 catches by Jake Butt. They got to get him more the best player of the team, and talk about making life easier on yourself. Get Jake Butt the ball as often as possible. Before we get out of here, other side of the ball, I'd say since the Utah game, the defense showed flashes of being a really good unit. The last 2 weeks have been pretty much shut down performances, just as solid as you could ask for, and now creating turnovers. How interested are you to see this group against BYU?
Yeah, that's a big test. I think that'll be interesting to see. I haven't had any reason to say this defense has played poorly in any of these games, including Utah, and that'll be interesting because BYU likes to throw the football. They like to get up and down, so that'll be a test for them. But at the same time, you know, outside of one play in the second half, the 50-yard little loop over the top, that defense didn't allow anything. I mean, UNLV had no pulse on offense, so the defense did exactly what it was supposed to do, dominated the football game, and made it so you can have errors on offense and you still win. That's good enough to beat teams like this, but not. But again, if you're going to continue to turn the ball over, the defense is going to have to do even more. And right now they're doing a lot. But the next step would be you're going to have to score or something like that. So I think defense has been great. I have nothing to knock on them at all. I mean, they've been as advertised through 3 weeks.
I'll be most interested to see if BYU kicks it up the speed a little bit. I think Utah gave Michigan the most trouble that's been seen this year when they went up tempo and they were really getting to the line of scrimmage quickly. I think that'll be one of the more curious things to pay attention to going into next week. So for this week, and Michigan's 28-7 win over UNLV, improving to 2-1 on the year. That's it for today. For Nick, I'm Brendan. Thanks for watching.